601 running Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited.
Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. How lovely to be with you all. How lovely to be here on First Fast. Thank you so much for having me, everyone. First off, yes, my name is HUD601. I'm a Sonic speedrunner, and I'm going to be showcasing for you tonight the first game I ever learned, what got me into speedrunning, Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited. But before further ado, let's get some formalities out of the way. First off, my co-commentator for the evening, a very good friend, a very trusted person to me. I'd love to introduce Mindez to you all. Hello, Mindez.
Hello, I'm Mindez. I also used to run this game.
I like the fact you say used to. We'll get you back into it. We'll get you back.
Yeah.
So, before we get underway, just very briefly, I want to just let you guys know out there what Sonic 3 Air is in case you already know. So you may remember this game for the Sega Mega Drive or the Sega Genesis if you're in the US, called Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Came out a little while ago, 1994 in fact. A few years back, a developer by the name of Eukaryote decided, you know what, it's a great game, but it could be so much more. And he went and developed Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited. It's had a load of upgrades and changes made to it from the original. For example, we have widescreen support, we have loads of quality of life updates like the drop dash, the peel out, tails, flight assist. There's been loads of bug fixes, so while this will be a glitched run, we got to do things in a slightly different way. And there's loads and loads of more updates since then that I'm sure we'll point out a few during the run, although obviously most of this we're just going to be enjoying the run and kind of reminiscing a little bit. So, I'm just going to double check that everything is ready and then we will get ourselves underway. So my controller settings are ready. Right, I'm good to go. 3, 2, 1, off we go. The old familiar Angel Island 1. How we have missed thee.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you get into the start of Angel Island 1, we've got a few questions that we've kind of canvassed from the HUD community. And I think that now would be a good time to kind of get into those.
Yeah, why not? What questions do we have, Mindez?
So, alright. This is all about people's first speedruns. How did you get into speedrunning?
How did I get into speedrunning? Okay, so we're probably going back to 2019 here. Around late 2019, I was just randomly looking at stuff on YouTube and I came across a video. I believe it was Joey and Zaxxon racing Sonic 3 and Knuckles at GDQ. And I remember watching it and thinking, oh cool, they're running it. And I saw one of the first glitches. And it was the first time I ever really saw a glitch being performed. And my mind was blown. Absolutely blown. And from there I decided to kind of go exploring. So I then found out that they streamed on Twitch and I was like, oh my god, I can watch them do this live. And from there I kind of went and found a load of other Sonic speedrunners. You know, Zaxxon, Joey, Ben in Sweden, Argic, many others as well. But they were the kind of first ones that I started watching and started getting interested in before I really kind of grew up the courage to get my own account and started saying hi in their chat. And that's kind of what got me into speedrunning.
Yeah, did you like watch any like speedrunning events or anything around that time?
Oh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so around that sort of time, we're talking mid-2020, I think it was. The Sonic Speedrun community was hosting tournaments. I think they did Sonic CD first, and then Sonic 2. It might have been the other way around, I can't remember now. But, I remember watching those tournaments, and I was watching the runners, like, you know, run through at incredible speeds, and I thought, one, that looks really fun, and two, oh, I bet I could do that. But I never really grew up the courage to actually make that leap. And then they announced the Sonic 3 Air tournament, and I thought, one, it's one of my favourite games from my childhood, and two, if I'm going to do it, it's now or never. So I thought, screw it, let's get on with it, let's do it. So, yeah, I made the decision at that point to become a Twitch streamer and a speedrunner, and to actually learn the game for the tournament. I entered the tournament the moment the sign-ups opened, and got to work learning the game.
Yeah, what I love about that is, like, our like stories of how we got into this game are pretty much exactly the same. We both watched the CD tournament, we both watched the Sonic 2 tournament, and I think we were both inspired enough by them to join the next one, which is kind of crazy. I think those tournaments got a lot of people into speedrunning.
It definitely did, and yeah, it was just seeing these incredible runners, you know, and what they were doing for the games, and just thinking, oh, I bet I could do that. But actually having the courage to take that leap, go, you know what? Enough of me saying I could do it. I want to be able to say I can do it, and actually making that leap. And so yeah, that's why I started with Sonic 3 Air. It was for the tournament, which is pretty cool.
So is Sonic something that you kind of like got into because of like playing it in your childhood and stuff?
Yeah, Sonic was kind of like the very first game that I remember playing. I actually tweeted out a photo the other day of me as like a 3-year-old for Sonic's 30th birthday, playing Sonic 1 in my parents' lounge, like tiny little me in front of my Mega Drive playing Sonic 1. Did I ever realise this is where it'd end up? I don't think I did. But I love it. I love it all the same.
Yeah, it's always weird looking back.
So Mindez, we're playing Sonic 3 Air here, which obviously is a fan-made remaster of the game. So like, quickly try and do a glitch. Nice. That is FPR, by the way. We'll talk a little bit about FPR later on. But just quickly, Sonic 3 Air. What do you enjoy the most about this game?
So I think that what really sold me on the game was the fact that Sonic 3 and Knuckles had a bit of reputation as being like not very beginner friendly for beginner speedrunners. And one of the things that's really close to my heart is getting more people interested in speedrunning. That's what I really want to like do. And this game is a fantastic entry point. You know, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the original game, has a lot of like frame perfect tricks that are very, very costly if you don't get them. You know, you can easily soft lock, which basically kills the run. You have to start entirely over. You know, this game's got like a menu system, so you don't have to do that, and all the glitches tend to be fairly forgiving after a bit of practice, or just outright not required to get a good time. So for me, this was like a really good. I feel like it's just a really good entry point for any speedrunner, and that's kind of what got me into it at the time. Obviously, alongside the fact that there was a tournament happening, and I'd watched the other tournaments. And it just feels so polished. Like 16.9 just feels like the way it should be run, and like everything from the stage layouts to the boss mechanics, it just feels so nice and smooth. What about yourself?
For me, so I'm just going to turn down the audio a little bit just so everyone can hear a little bit better. For me, I mean, the thing that I love most about Air, the fact that it's in widescreen, it runs at a nice consistent 60 frames. Like you say, it's just got that kind of level of polish on it, which really helps. But yeah, there's so many things like, you know, new control options, having like the peel out and the drop dash, the flight assist. It just, it just makes for things to be a little bit better. I think as well the glitches. I remember when I first picked up the game, like the glitches were few and far between, which made it a lot easier to kind of get into. I'll be honest, these days it's often said that Sonic 3 Air is now more broken than the original, and to some degree that's true, I suppose. But yeah, the glitches I love.
Generally more forgiving.
Yeah, I love the glitches in this game. They're just great.
So on the topic of glitches, and you know, and I happen to know exactly where we are right now. Which is your favourite glitch?
Believe it or not, it's the one that I'm performing right now. It's almost like we practiced this, Mindez, isn't it?
I know. Perfectly timed.
Yeah, this okay, Sonic's doing weird things here that he doesn't normally do. Oh, I forgot to jump out. That was different. This might go wrong.
Yeah.
I think we might be alright. Yeah, we're alright. I just want to dedicate that hole in one to Nacho, by the way. Cool. So yeah, this particular glitch is one of my favourites. This is the Marble Garden skip. So this is present in the original game, but we have to set it up slightly differently in Air. But effectively, yeah, this is the Marble Garden 2 boss in Marble Garden Act 1. And as you can see, everything's normal on screen. There's nothing to worry about here whatsoever. It's all good. You know, we'll just defeat that. We'll just float in mid-air here, and the capture will come along. And then, yeah, if I jump here and grab onto Tails, weird things start happening. And I love it. And what I love most about this glitch is visually, it looks very impressive. But here's the dirty little secret. Once you know where you're going, it's one of the easiest to pull off. And we skip an entire level as a result. I love it. It's honestly my favourite. What about you? What's your favourite glitch in the game?
It really is. And I remember you, like, one of the things you did when we first started was just, like, making a video of all the glitches and how to do them. And you really contributed a lot to the community.
I think I believe strongly in giving back where I can, and yeah, after I learned them all, I realised that there was no real kind of definitive guide or tutorial on how to do this, and I wanted to teach others, like, look, if I can do it, you can do it. Let me show you how.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your
I think
favorite?
I think that guide became very, very quickly out of date. But details. That always happens in speedruns.
Very true.
So I think my favorite glitch was Tails' Infinite Flight, where you could just like infinitely fly under levels with Tails. Unfortunately, that did get patched out, and you can only do that in the slower version of the game now. So it's not in the run anymore.
That's a bummer.
I just loved going under the stage of Flying Battery. Yeah.
It's always a shame when fun glitches get patched out.
Yeah.
So I assume that like usually it's because that glitch ends up causing problems for somebody playing it casually,
Yeah.
or something like that. But
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Savar. And to be honest, one of the things that the developer Eukaryote has kind of said with this game is that if it's a glitch introduced because of the game's new mechanics or because of the air engine, the oxygen engine it runs in, they'll generally try to fix it if a casual runner is going to come across it. If it's something that's a bit late on that one, it's fine. If it's something that is just part of the original game, they'll leave it as is. It's just, original game physics. It's the way it was made. So there is a nice balance there of knowing that, to be honest, most of the glitches we have in the game right now will probably not get patched, so the game is safe to run in that regards.
that's pretty great.
But yeah, that Tails Infinite Flight glitch, while it was patched out, we kept running on the old version as a result, until we found some new glitches and realised that the newer versions are faster now, so, swings and roundabouts.
And even more quality of life stuff was added to make the game even faster in the newer versions. Like even more cutscenes can be skipped, and the Sando boss, you don't need to wait for it now.
Oh yeah,
So-
the latest version is by far and away now the fastest one to run on this game, which is pretty cool. And to be honest, that's one of the things that I found most interesting about this game in there, and I don't know if you have as well, but how it's evolved over the last year. Like I'm coming up. In fact, today is 11 months since I first started streaming and first started running this game. And the game has changed massively since we first started. So the glitch I'm about to do here is one of these new ones that was discovered after the tournament, and this is Partner Clip. So this was the one that allowed us to run on the newer version after they patched out the Infinite Flight. And unfortunately getting the timing a little bit wrong there. That's right, Tails, come back here.
No, Tails. There's a lot of like Tails management in this run.
A lot of Tails management.
Tails is
There we go.
Tails needs an adult.
He tries. He tries. That's the important thing.
The last run to this, my last practice run before we came here, I actually lost a potential PB run late in the game because of Tails. So yeah, Tails management paramount in this game. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, we are now in Knuckles' area. We are not supposed to be here, and I'm definitely not supposed to hit those spikes.
Ooh.
Oops. Let's do that again.
Oh my.
It's fine. It happens.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I love it.
If you don't mind, I would like to take a little bit of time to tell all of our wonderful viewers about the charity that we are raising for the Trans Women of Color Collective. If that's all right.
Yeah, go for it, please.
Yeah. Folks, the Trans Women of Color Collective's mission is to uplift the narratives, lived experiences, and leadership of trans and gender nonconforming people of color, their family and comrades, as they build toward collective liberation for all oppressed people. You can read about them and their mission on their website at www.twocc.us. They have a number of different initiatives. The Black Trans Health Initiative, a Healing and Restorative Justice Initiative, and a Survival Fund and Wellness Fund that go toward both addressing broad systemic issues and also helping people in immediate need at the moment. So all donations go to benefit those various initiatives and improve the lives of trans women of color. Thank you for letting me blurb.
Absolutely fine. We made it through that glitch finally, so now we're back on the normal path. That's definitely one of the harder glitches in the game. It's not the hardest, but it can be a little bit tricky. One of the harder ones to certainly learn and get nailed down. And yeah, occasionally things do go wrong. So always remember, know your backups. Talking of hard glitches,
the subject of hard glitches.
yeah, go on.
But what would you say is one of the hardest glitches to perform in the run?
So if you'd asked me this when I first started running the game, I would have easily told you Launch base. Launch base was the big run killer back then. We'll see that in a little bit. And I remember, and I went back and looked at some of my early streams. I've still got all the old VODs saved. And I remember spending stream after stream, like 2-3 hours doing nothing but learning launch base. These days, not so much, because now there's a chance that we have to play Sandopolis Act 2. Loop Clip in Sando 2 is by far, for me at least, the hardest, and I hate it. And in fact, that run earlier that was on PB pace died from Loop Clip after something went wrong with Tails, and yeah. Something went wrong, I don't know why. He hit the sand and it caused me to die. I just don't like Loop Clip.
Yeah, you know how I put the emphasis on used to run this game? If you can get Loop Clip out of the run, then there's more chance of me coming back.
Yeah, you just need to FPR Mindez. Just FPR and Sander, you'll be fine.
Okay, that's all
what's yours? I mean, I presume it's possibly the same, but...
Well, I've not really had the misfortune of having to run Sando because it wasn't in the route when I actually ran the game. So I'm sticking with Launch Base just because it is, of the tricks in the game, at least when I ran it, the most unforgiving, and it's got a lot of tricky parts to it that's very easy to mess up, and it was always the biggest run killer because it's one of the glitches that you have to get. It saves so much time that you just have to get it.
Yeah,
like even if you fail it like 7 or 8 times, it's still worth going for.
Oh yeah, and I remember, to be honest, like the amount of time that Ben in Sweden spent with me, kind of teaching me how to do launch base. It's one of those glitches that is incredibly hard to teach someone because it's kind of a 3-part glitch, as you'll see very soon. And it's not really one where you can kind of show examples of what to do when, but it all comes down to practice, practice, practice. There's no other way of learning that, just hours and hours of practice.
Yeah,
it's a tricky one.
I think the first time I literally dedicated a whole stream just to trying to pull it off once, and literally it took me like an hour and a half in, I managed to do it once, and then it took me another hour to do it the second time. Like,
yeah,
it takes practice, and it gets more consistent. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely still a run killer.
Oh, it can still be a run killer. It's one of the ones that I generally, this is potentially dangerous for me to say halfway through a run, one of the ones that I generally don't find too hard. That's tempting fate, isn't it?
That's bold to say in the act before you've got to do
it. These days, I tend not to find it too difficult. I don't often get it first try, but you know, it's not really a run killer so much anymore. At least not for me. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see now. I may have just completely jinxed myself, but I don't believe in that stuff. I love tempting fate.
Yeah,
always looks so much more impressive when you then pull it off. Oh dear.
So, like, of all the glitches in Sonic 3 Air, like you mentioned that some are kind of new, some are old. Like, what's the kind of ratio of those? Like, how many of the glitches are unique?
Oh, there's a good question. There are definitely some unique glitches. I would say more than being unique, there are unique setups for it. So here's the launch base one. I've already screwed up going into there. Good start, Huds. Good start. I missed time to jump. So we effectively perform the same glitch here in launch base as we do in the original, but the setup for it's slightly different because in the process of the developer trying to fix what caused the original, he calls this one. Not first try. I've jinxed myself. Now we're going to be stuck in launch base hell, everyone. Here we go.
So yeah, the first step is getting into the elevator. The second step is jumping out of the elevator on a very specific frame.
There we go.
Slow glitch.
So that's the first bit. That is a frame-perfect jump out of the elevator. That's already hard enough when you're just trying to practice this. You'll easily spend an hour just trying to get that. Then you've got this fun little thing, where we just start running through walls, and then you have to catch Sonic as he falls, keep his speed under control so he doesn't fall any further but doesn't rise, and then look for that, bring him up into the boss arena, or in this case go above the boss arena, and that's half of it done. Now we have to fight 2 bosses at the same time while in this glitch state and only kill one of them. It's just... yeah. It's no wonder this is generally one of the hardest for a runner to learn, and a definite run killer for many.
And it is a run killer, and it is intimidating, but it's got its setups. You know, there are ways to make it consistent. You know, we can see you got it third time here.
Yeah, third try.
Yeah, so it's
what you're telling me based on what I understand earlier, is that this is all stuff that you can do in the original version of the game.
So this particular one is done very similarly. It's just the initial setup for getting slope glitch that's different. In the original, you would do what's called a level wrap, whereby you effectively get Sonic to go off of the X coordinate on the left side of the screen, and it immediately wraps him round to the right-hand side. But that's patched in Air, so rather than doing the level wrap, we have to effectively run Sonic through the walls, which is a lot harder to do, but the end result is the same.
Well, I think because the problem with Sonic 3 and Knuckles is that most of the levels, most of the zones at this point have level wraps, and they're all incredibly difficult to execute.
That's amazing. I have to say that that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we're an interesting lot, speedrunners, and generally when someone says, oh yeah, I patched that, our first thought isn't, oh, we can't do it anymore. It's, okay, how do we find a way around what you've just patched? And to be honest, that's what's happened with Sonic. Most of the level wraps that were patched, we've just found alternate ways of doing things, which I absolutely love. And like I said, from when the idea behind Sonic 3 Air and picking it for that tournament, going all the way back to the tournament and how I got into speedrunning, the idea of picking that over the original was it's less glitchy, so it would be easier for new runners to pick up. And that was definitely the case 11 months ago. But these days, it's probably more glitchy than the original.
Yeah.
God love it. But yeah, one of the other glitches that I love that is unique to Air is the frame perfect reset, which you saw me do earlier in Hydrocity/Hydro-City/ not starting that argument right now. But the frame perfect reset, it technically exists in the original. It can be patched, but they won't patch it because it's to do with how the original game transitions from one level to the other. From what I understand, I don't know 100% if this is correct, but from what I understand is when you finish a level and the time bonus is going off screen, the game first updates itself to say, I'm now in Act 2, and then on the very next frame, it says Sonic's position is now at the beginning of Act 2. And what we do is we pause the game after it's updated itself to say I'm in Act 2, but before it updates Sonic's position, and we use that in-game menu that's only available in Air to reset the level. At which point the game puts you back at the beginning of Act 1, but thinks it's in Act 2. And I absolutely love that as a glitch. That was found 30th of December by 3Gotistical. And I love it because it's one of those ones that is technically unique to Air, but is actually present in the original game. If you could have an in-game menu in that original game, you could technically do that glitch. And that's one of the things, the beauty of Air that I love, you know? But yeah.
That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
So it's things like that you just find that was completely found by accident. Completely by accident.
Amazing.
Just while I'm doing this, do you want to come up with any donations at all, by the way?
We have received a $10 donation from Race Pro UK. No comment, but thank you very much for the donation. We are holding pretty steady at $282.10. That puts us almost to $300. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint. And almost 3/5 of the way to unlocking our first raffle of the marathon. As a reminder to folks, every $500 that we reach, we will raffle off another pair of custom Converse shoes, specially embroidered with First FASTS 21 on the shoes. And every $10 that you donate gets you one entry into the raffle. So if you want to get in on that action and you want to make sure that the raffles happen, donating to the Trans Women of Color Collective is the way to do that. So just to make sure that everybody's aware.
I'm not gonna lie, I want me a pair of those shoes. I am actually, believe it or not, I'll prove it at the end of the run. I am currently wearing my custom Pride Converse right now.
Oh, very nice.
I love Converse and I love Pride and I just love colourful things. So yeah, for a great cause. So yeah, please do consider donating if you're watching this. It is for a fantastic cause. And thank you, Race Pro, as well. Right, just setting up here for the glitch in Flying Battery 2. Yeah, do we have any other questions at all, Mindez? What would you like to ask?
Yeah, so we're kind of in the second half of the game now. What was it like when you first ran air? What was that first run like?
Oh god, it was terrible. It was terrible. So my first run of air technically didn't finish. Just to point out, Sonic 3 and Knuckles when I was a child, I never finished the game. I never actually got past Sky Sanctuary, so I'd never been in Death Egg before. And my first run that I did, I game overed on the final boss so many times I basically abandoned the run. I think I was an hour and 44 minutes in, and I abandoned the run. It was a terrible, terrible run, and it put me off so much that I basically didn't return for a month. And my first actual completed run was technically my second one. Sonic, where are you? There you are. My first one was technically my second. My first completed run was technically my second. It was on my first official stream, which was the 29th of July, 2020. And yeah, I basically woke up early before work at like 3:30 a.m. I thought, right, I need to just do this. I need to do it. Let's just finish a run and get over this hurdle and be a streamer and be a speedrunner. And my final time was 1 hour, 54 minutes and 9 seconds. And that was my first ever completed run. What about you, Mindez? What was your first run?
Oh man, my first completed run. No idea what you're talking about. So I was doing a bit of streaming in 2020 because I was going through a bit of a channel revival. I was trying to get a community together so that I came from YouTube, and so that my viewers at the time had somewhere to go in lockdown and could find support together. So I started a Discord server, started a bit of a Twitch stream, so that people could flock around it. And in the afterglow of SGDQ, because I've watched SGDQ for a number of years, and after SGDQ 2020, I was looking for some speedrunning events to be a part of. And I came across the Sonic 3 Air tournament from the Sonic CD and the Sonic 2 tournament. And it seemed like a good opportunity to properly get into a game, because I am really bad at just dedicating time to a single game. So one night I decided to do a quote-unquote speedrun of the game, even though I'd not played this version of the game. I'd not played Angel Island Revisited, and I'd not played Sonic 3 and Knuckles for at least 2 decades, pretty much since I was a kid. My only focus was get a time, even if it's terrible, and then you can improve on it later. And that's kind of still the mindset that I try and go into speedrunning with. So my first run clocked in at 5 hours and 17 minutes.
Legendary run.
And that had 13 total game overs, and spent 2.5 hours on Death Egg alone. Oh, it was such a terrible run. And one of my best memories of that run, I got raided by Ben in Sweden halfway through the run, and the Sonic 3 Air community just flocked in with encouragement and started teaching me one of the glitches as I was doing the run, and you were there as well, and you started just a bit before me, and you were just there with the encouragement. It was just such a nice, wholesome moment.
That's how we met, if I recall. It was the first time I saw you and met you. And yeah, I remember we came in, I think, at the start of Lava Reef, and you're about 2.5 hours in or so. And I was thinking to myself, oh, he's nearly there. Little did I know, 2.5 hours later, I'd be in bed, still watching you, still encouraging you to finish that run. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I loved it.
I think most of those game overs were on the last boss as well.
Tails being mean. All right, we're in Sandopolis. I think we need to address the giant guardian in the room.
We absolutely do. So, Hans, what is the Sando 8?
What is the Sando 8 indeed? Okay, let's talk about the Sando 8. So for anyone who may not be aware of this, the Sando 8, if you've been living under a rock, or if you're not part of the community, I should say as well, because that's a perfectly valid reason. 2 seconds while I try an FPR. Oh great, we're doing Sando 2. The Sando 8 is a bit of a meme run that has evolved into an actual run with a board. For anyone who doesn't know the origins, back in one of my early speedruns, I think it was only my 3rd or 4th run, I didn't know the route for Sandopolis at the time. And the legend is that it took me 8 attempts to get past Sandopolis Act 1. This was at a time where you could reset the level during that cutscene where Sonic goes in the pyramid, and it would just take you back to the beginning of Sando 1, but the game would think it was Sando 2. So you effectively never had to play Sando 2, which was a godsend at the time, and still is to this day, as you may be about to find out as I attempt loot clip in a second. But anyway, it became a bit of a meme in my channel where people would come in and say, "So Huds, how many attempts has it taken you today to get past Sando?" And the joke was that it took me 8 attempts. Right, let me just concentrate a second while I do loop clip. But yeah, it became a meme, and then I decided to buy into it and actually did what we refer to as the Sando 8, which is run Sandopolis Act 1 8 times in a row. And it was wonderful. Here's the dirty little secret, though, that I've never revealed up to now, and I've gone back and checked it. The Sando 8 is based on a lie. It was never 8 times. It kind of just became legend that it was 8 times, but it wasn't. I've gone back and watched the run that the Sando 8 originated from. I used 9 lives in total for the run, so it could have been the Sando 9, but I actually saw the Sando 1 title card 12 times. Because I game overed a few times as well, so I had to go back to Act 1 when I was in Act 2 already. If you want to count the one time I went in the special stage as well, it was 13 times. So, but to be honest, 8's a nice round number. We have the big run, the Sonic 8 in the community as well. So the Sando 8 was kind of a nice play on that. But I should say that the 8 was the original number that people thought and remembered, and no one ever bothered to go back and check until I literally went and checked a couple of days ago.
You lied to us all.
It's a good thing the Sando 13 didn't stick. That would have been unlucky.
They really would have, wouldn't it? But yeah, there you go. There's a little secret reveal for everyone out there. The Sando 8 was never 8. It was technically more.
I want all my money back.
I know. My entire speedrunning career is based on a lie.
I think the day that you did that run actually was the same day that I did my first run, because I was looking back at the chat log, and people come in and be like, guess, hey, it's Hudsley who owns the world record for the most Sandos.
Yeah, that's basically how I became known at the beginning. And you know, it became legend, it became meme, then myth, and then yeah, is now an actual thing. And I'll reveal this now. Actually, I was going to do a little announcement this week, but why don't we reveal this now, seeing as we're on the subject? So I agreed to do something insane for a sub goal that I thought would never be met, which was the Sando 601, or the Sando, the 24 hours of Sando. I am going to be running the Sando 601. I'm going to be doing Sandopolis Act 1 601 times, and I'm going to start it on my stream anniversary. That will be the day we do it for the 1 year anniversary. So I am equally excited as I am terrified to kind of see the culmination of my first year of streaming and speedrunning this incredible game by doing something absolutely insane. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the most insane you've gone so far is 100 times, right?
100, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be 600. It's going to be...
And one.
It's going to be all. And one.
Don't forget the one.
And a victory lap.
And a victory lap, yeah. So yeah, that's yeah, it kind of feels like a nice culmination, seeing as we are reminiscing about where it started, like to kind of bring it full circle after the first year and just go all out. Yeah, it should be really, really fun. And to be honest, that's one of the things I love so much, that the last year of running this game, the amazing community that this game has spawned, and in part the amazing community that's been built up around my streaming and my channel and all the people that I absolutely have made friends with and love, has been unlike anything I've ever experienced. And to think back about how it started, to doing that first run at 4 a.m. in the morning, Elites, I think, was the only person watching and chatting with me and cheering me on, to where we are now, running this game at first fast, to reminiscing about it with you, Mindez, to all these wonderful people in chat. I see you all there, I can see you all, and I love you all.
Give us a wave.
To being part of the Sonic Speedrun community, to being a core staff member for running tournaments and marathons, to working with Zaxton Friends as a staff member to put on other Sonic and Sega related tournaments. You know, this is my 12th marathon run now, and I honestly never thought anything like this would happen from me just picking up a game I used to love and trying to enter a tournament and, you know, designing layouts in Microsoft PowerPoint. I kid you not, my stream layouts until about a month ago were all designed in PowerPoint because it's what I had to hand. And honestly, the one thing that I've always tried to prove, I always wanted to prove my channel, and I try to stick to even now as a principle, is if this idiot you're watching right now can do this, anyone can. you can pick up this game or any other game. You can be a speedrunner, you can be a streamer. You don't have to have the best equipment or the best tools or the best knowledge. It's practice, practice, practice. Trial and error, learning, and not being ashamed of making mistakes. And I've always done all of my practice on stream as far as reasonably possible, because I want to show that, you know, you learn from your mistakes and there's a lot to be gained from doing so, and people shouldn't shy away from it. You know, I want to present a positive atmosphere where your runs aren't judged on whether or not it's a PB or not, and it's not judged on its mistakes, but it's what you're able to learn from it. It's what you can take away from it, and you can have fun along the way and have a bit of a laugh. Like, yeah, I used to suck at Sandopolis Act 1, but we've had so much fun with it, with the Sand 08 and everything else that goes into that, and it becoming a bit of a meme. And that's always been one of my core principles, and something that I've always tried to pass on is don't be afraid of making mistakes, don't be afraid of shying away from it, and, you know, just present the best version of you, love the games that you run, and, you know, people will show you that love in return. And certainly that's what's happened with me, and I couldn't be more grateful for my community, for all the communities that I'm a part of, and all the wonderful people that I've met.
Yeah, if I can do a 5 hour 17-minute run, you know, anyone can be a speedrunner, let's be honest.
Yeah. I've always said there are two conditions for speedrunning, which is 1, you are trying your best to go as fast as possible, and 2, you're timing it. Meet those two conditions, you are a speedrunner. Congratulations. You know, that's all you need. It really is that accessible, and, you know, if I can encourage at least one person to want to pick up that controller and have a go, whether it be this game, another Sonic game, or another game entirely, to think for themselves, to make that leap like I did from, oh, I could do this, to, you know what, I'm going to do this, then I feel happy and blessed if I can do that, in all honesty. You know? So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a big mood. One of the things that I will go on rants about is that there is no time that you have to be able to meet in a game to be considered a speedrunner. Like,
Yep.
there's just there's no bar to clear if you're trying to complete the game as fast as possible.
Exactly. Like, anyone can do it. And to be honest, I have seen members of my community, you know, decide to pick up a game and just give it a go, and then they get a little bit hooked, and then they want more and they want more. And, you know, it doesn't matter where you come on the board, if you're fastest, slowest, it doesn't matter. The fact is, you're taking part and you are part of that game's speedrunning history. And honestly, I love that about speedrunning and about the community in general. You know, not just the Sonic speedrun community, but about the speedrun community. It's a great thing. But I went through that monitor again.
Yeah, how?
That can happen. Fun game. Physics, you know, just Sonic 3 things.
Collision is fake.
Talking about how the community has evolved, like, one of the things I love is when I first joined the Sonic 3 community, and something that I definitely consider my home. At the time, it was a very, very small thing. It was started up by Nacho. I want to give a huge shout out to Nacho, who recently stepped down as a moderator for Sonic 3 Air, but was the one that initially started it all. And without him, we wouldn't have any of this, at least not the way we do today. So I'm very, very grateful to Nacho and everything he's done for our community. A wonderful, wonderful speedrunner. But it has grown. The Sonic 3 Air speedrun community has now grown to over 140 members. We have 3 boards on speedrun.com. We have the main board, we have category extensions where the Sand 08 and other characters live, and we even now have DA Garden as well. And we are the most run Sonic fan game of all within just a year. We've had more runs than any other Sonic fan game. 353 on the main board, 179 on Catex, and 13 on DA Garden, which is phenomenal. And from me going from this, you know, this meek little speedrunner who doesn't know what he's doing and, you know, doing 2-hour runs to, you know, being a mod of that Discord, a mod for, you know, SRC for the game, to trying to promote it at marathons, to doing loads of marathon runs and stuff. You know, I'm incredibly proud of how far as a community we have come. And it's really nice to reminisce about that and remember it.
Yeah, definitely. So it should be.
Absolutely wonderful. Do we have time for a quick donation by any chance?
We do indeed. Please do jump in.
All right. We have a $13 donation from Anonymous that says $13 for the Sando 13. It might be unlucky, but good luck, Huds.
Oh, thank you very much. Right, last attempt at FPR. This is kind of the one that I want.
Yep.
I'm a frame over. No.
Oh, no.
Okay, it's fine. So that FPR there, we haven't really. Well, I have explained what FPR is actually, but that one there, if you get it, saves 2.5 minutes on the run. Because you don't have to do 1, this very long level, 2, Uwu Ball, and 3, the final boss. But on the plus side, we do get the true ending of the game, which is, I suppose, a plus in some ways.
Did you just say Uwu Ball?
Uwu Ball, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is an Uwu Ball?
Oh, you're about to find out. It goes Uwu.
It's a ball that goes ooh. Yeah, it's a ball that goes ooh. I mean,
It's a ball that goes Uwu. It's Uwu Ball.
I feel like it's self-explanatory, really.
I should probably credit the correct person. So it was, as with most things like this in the Sonic Speedrun community, it was Argic who blessed us with that name. Running the game one day and suddenly realizing, hang on, is this boss saying Uwu? And thus it became known as Uwu Ball because it's shaped like a ball. So thank you, Argic. Shout out to you for gifting that one to the community.
Truly a gift.
Oh.
Argic has influenced the vocabulary of Sonic games massively. Shall we say.
Yes. Between that and the Sonic Speedrun community's Lord and Savior, Big Chungus, yeah, we have definitely embraced the memes as a community.
Yeah. There's one more question then, because obviously you started speedrunning during the pandemic, so that means that speedrunning's just kind of been always been an online only thing for you. Are you excited to go to some events and actually meet the community in person?
Oh, like you wouldn't believe. By the way, everyone say hello to Uwu Ball. He is going Uwu. Yeah, so obviously, yeah, things have been a bit weird for me. I've only ever known speedrunning as an online thing. I started during the middle of the pandemic, obviously in July last year. And yeah, as a result, like, I know, like, doing online marathons and stuff seem normal to me. The idea of doing in-person events is but a dream. Like, I don't really know. I am definitely going to be attending events when they are safe to start again. You know, UKSG, ESA, you know, I want to get over to America to GDQ. That's not how we do that, Huds. I am screwing up Uwu Ball. There you go. That works. Grab a ring at least. But yeah, you know, it's... I suppose in some ways it's a bit weird because I can't necessarily relate to some of the long-standing people and their experiences of speedrunning. You know, I've had to do everything online and meet people and make friends purely in an online space. So, yeah, trying to get around the country and get around the world to meet all these wonderful, wonderful people that I've you know, come across. It will definitely be a priority once things are safe to do so again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully I'll get to meet you one day, Mindez, as well.
Crazy.
I know. Could it be?
I'm still not 100% sure all you people exist. I mean, it's an online only thing, right?
We're not going to risk this one. Oh, by the way, I have a bit of a habit in marathon runs of dying to this part of the boss, so not today. Not today.
Not today.
Is this the last boss of the run?
This is the final boss, so yeah, time will be coming up very shortly.
4 hits.
This song
2
is
more hit.
dope.
And time will be on the white fade out, and time.
GG.
Thanks. That was a fun run. I really enjoyed that. I love that run.
That was wonderful. And thank you both so much for wonderful, wonderful, and incredibly dynamic commentary. I have learned more about the Sonic speedrunning community in the last 3 hours than I ever knew in my entire life prior to that. And I really, really appreciate it. And y'all are making me want to run Sonic games, so good job. Thanks a lot.
That's what I think the really cool thing is about this whole First Fast event. Like, putting the focus on people's first speedruns, on the communities. I think it's a fantastic event idea. I'm really glad to be a part of it. Thank you very much.
Honestly,
Absolutely.
I was thrilled when this run was accepted in because, you know, I felt like I had a good story to tell. I wanted to get that positive message out there, and God, I love this run so much. And everything that it's brought me. One of the things that I just want to point out quickly is, like, during this month, I've been doing a fundraiser on my channel with my community to raise money for Bristol Pride, which is my local pride charity here in the southwest of England. I originally set a target of £200 for the month. Basically, anything that I earned through Twitch for the month would be donated, from subs and bits and donations and everything. My community surpassed that in 30 minutes. I thought we'd get £200 for the month. They did it in 30 minutes, and we're already up over £700 and stretching for 1,000. So to be able to give something back, especially to such a fabulous cause like Pride, has meant the world to me. And it's this game that has given me that. This game that has given me that community and given me the ability to do something like that. And I am utterly grateful for everything that it's brought me, all the experiences, all the friends, and yeah, it's just wonderful. But yeah, before we finish up, Mindez, is there one final question that needs asking?
There's one final question from Nacho. Did you win?
We did one.
Okay.
Thanks, Nacho. But yeah, if you enjoyed the run, I'm HUD601. It'd be lovely if you want to pop into my chat and come say hi. This is a fantastic marathon, a fantastic cause. Please do consider donating to charity, and keep watching First Fast. And Sabara, once again, thank you so much for having me and having Mindez and having a wonderful Sonic block.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for being a part of it.